Greetings, I'm the Bulgarian Troglodyte. Today I'm gonna talk about two contemporary Japanese films by Naoko Ogigami. So I absolutely love both of these films, so I felt like I had to make a video about them to recommend them to you guys. Although I feel like I don't have that much to say about these films as they are very much very kind of vibe driven films instead of theme or plot driven films. So I feel like there's not that much to talk about with either of these films, but I just felt like it's my duty to recommend them because these are fairly kind of unknown films, and it feels like Naoko Ogigami is a fairly unknown director that not many people know of or talk about, even though she is really good. I've now seen three films from her. Last year I watched a film from her called Close Knit, which I really enjoyed. Now on Friday I watched this one, Kamome Diner, and then on Saturday, I watched Rent a Cat, which is maybe her most famous film. But let's start with Kamome Diner from 2006. So this was a very interesting film to me, as it is a Japanese film made in Helsinki, Finland. And if you didn't know, I'm from Finland, so it was very interesting to see two worlds mixed together. And to me, it's kind of like my reality mixed with my fantasy. As I'm Finnish, I live in Finland, and as I'm such a huge fan of all types of Japanese media, so it's kind of Japan is the fantasy and Finland is the reality for me. But this is about a woman who is in the middle here, and she started a restaurant, cafe in Helsinki, serving Japanese food, mainly rice balls, onigiri, but nobody comes to her restaurant. There are just people kind of walking past the restaurant and then stopping by and looking through the window and being kind of weirded out that what is this Japanese woman doing here and stuff. But then this Japanese woman meets another Japanese woman that we have here on the right called Midori, and they become friends. They start hanging out with each other, and that Japanese woman comes to work here in the diner. Like she had kind of randomly come to Finland. She was in Japan and she just uh, figured out that, yeah, I'm gonna close my eyes and have a map in front of me, and then I'll put my finger in a random point of a map, and then I'll go to that country that my finger points to, and that finger pointed to Finland, so that's why she's in Finland. And then later on, they also meet this third Japanese woman who is in Finland because she's like in a transfer flight. She's going elsewhere, but then her luggage got lost. But then she comes to this restaurant as well. So most of the dialogue in this film is in Japanese, but then of course there are lots of Finnish people who come to this restaurant. So we have here some Finnish as well. Like there is the first customer who starts coming here regularly, who is this young, kind of nerdy Finnish guy who actually knows how to speak Japanese. And then later on, there is this kind of middle-aged woman who is very depressed as her husband had left her. So they meet lots of different or a few different types of Finnish people. Here there is even one Kaurismäki regular here, Markku Peltola, who is in this film. But yeah, not much happens in this film. It's just about these women and then some Finnish people. It's about this restaurant that they try to make the restaurant work. And it's this kind of cultural clash type of film that, yeah, at first they feel like outsiders, but then they kind of start understanding Finnish culture more and they start enjoying it. And then also the Finnish people, they are a bit kind of suspicious of this restaurant at first, but then as the film progresses, there is this kind of understanding between the Finnish and Japanese people, and the restaurant starts kind of succeeding. But yeah, there's very little plot here. It's more just about these characters, and all the characters have very distinctive personalities. You just love to follow them. And stylistically, there are many kind of still shots here. It reminds me quite a bit of Yasujiro Ozu, although the angles aren't those low angles that Ozu uses, but it reminds me of Ozu because it's kind of very simple but beautiful cinematography, and also this film kind of very much uh, focuses on small objects like in the kitchen that we see in the shot, and yeah, it's just focuses on the everyday details and all the minutia of the world. So I really enjoy that aspect of the film, and it's very much of that slice of life Japanese filmmaking tradition. But I think Naoko Ogigami, in all of her films that I have seen, adds lots of kind of low key quirkiness to her films, both the style and also the characters, and that kind of makes her films stand out from the kind of average slice of life Japanese drama film. And yet there's not much conflict here, and there aren't any big events here. But I just absolutely loved every second of this film. Although the copy that I watched, because it was in English subtitles, so some of the Finnish parts, because I was again following that how they translated the Finnish parts into English, and some of the translations were completely off. But some of them were accurate, but some of them were just completely off. I wonder what that was about. Obviously, it doesn't bother me because I understood the Finnish parts because I'm Finnish, for people who don't know Finnish, they will be kind of misled by those particular subtitles. Yeah. But yeah, thematically, this film, I don't think there's that much to it. Yeah, it's just about that kind of, yeah, finding understanding between cultures, being a outsider in a different culture and learning to cope with that. Yeah, but it's more so just a character driven slice of life film with a beautiful, simple style and quite a bit of quirkiness to it. But I would highly recommend this film to everybody. I absolutely love this film. I think it might be a kind of a new favorite. And this was something that I had been wanting to see for quite a long time. It can be quite hard to find. Yeah, it took me some digging online to find it. Yeah, I'm not sure whether you can stream this anywhere, but you're gonna have to find it through other means if you know what I mean. Yeah. Uh, I think there are also some physical media releases of this, but I think they're out of print. Yeah, yeah. But what a great film. Yeah, highly recommend that. Then we have her film Rent a Cat, which is about this single woman who has this kind of weird business where she rents cats to lonely people. So she basically just goes outside and she has a microphone and she's again shouting to the microphone that, yeah, I have cats to rent. Yeah, rent a cat. Yeah. So very simple plot again, and kind of very quirky plot again, a kind of weird business that she has. But yeah, if you're a cat lover, you are gonna love this as we have cats in every scene, basically. And these films kind of structured in the way that we follow again this woman who has this business, but then we have these kind of side characters again, these people who rent the cats, and we go from person to person to person. The film kind of dedicates like maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes to each character, although it gets a bit different in the second half, I would say. Yeah. But visually, again, this has very similar, simple, beautiful style to it. There's even one dream sequence here that adds to a bit of that awkward and quirky nature of her style. Yeah. And this is one of those films that it's just kind of very cute and pleasant to watch. I don't think it's that deep or anything, but it's just very well made, peaceful slice of life film that's perfect for stressful days when you want to relax. But there are some themes here as well. Like there are a couple of scenes where they talk about how people always insist that we need to put things into classes or we always have to rank things. Like they talk about cats and ranking different cat breeds and stuff like that. And then they talk about like cars and different car brands. But I think those scenes very much talk about Japanese society in general because Japan is of course a very hierarchical society of respect, where you always have to respect and be very formal with people who are superior to you, whether it's in rank or class or whatever. So I think that was commentary on Japanese society. Yeah, but I think beyond that, there's not that kind of much, that many kind of deeper themes in this film. Of course, it tackles like loneliness because again, she is trying to rent these cats to lonely people, and I guess it shows the beautiful connection that humans can have with animals. Yeah, and it's also kind of how people deal with loneliness. Yeah, but yeah, it's again a kind of a like a character. It's quite a way, or very much of a character-driven film, just like Kamome Diner, and just like Kamome Diner, it's film with very simple plot, simple but beautiful style, with all the quirk and awkwardness. Yeah. So I think if you like one of these films, you are probably gonna like the other one as well. I would say I preferred Kamome Diner slightly because it's, I guess, the Japanese Finnish connection that just spoke to me personally a lot. Although the first 15 years of my life, I also lived with cats, so I love cats. So I really enjoyed the cat stuff in this film. And I'm one of those people who is both a dog and a cat person. I've never understood why you have to be either or. Why can't you just love both cats and dogs? But anyway, I just wanted to quickly recommend both of these films. I think Rent a Cat is actually on YouTube with English subtitles. I didn't watch it that way, but I checked and it's there. So this one is probably easier to find than Kamome Diner, but hopefully you can find this one as well. Like I said, it can take some digging, but there are copies of it online and even on physical media. Yeah. But if you can get a hold of these films, definitely do. I think if you are a fan of slice of life Japanese films, these are definitely must watches. There is a bit of that Ozu influence here, but Ogigami definitely has completely her own style as well, even though there are some things that remind me of some other directors. And I would say Kamome Diner also had a bit of a Kaurismäki vibe, but it's just a very small kind of resemblance to Kaurismäki. But yeah, anyway, let me know if you have seen these films and what you think of them, and hopefully you will watch them at some point. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't drink Coke at all. Sayonara and arigato gozaimashita.